Okay, average rate of change. So let me give you a made-up curve. Wow, there you go. Let's call this f of x. Okay. So based on our curve, I'm going to, so given y equals some random function, like I made up that green one. So let's call it f of x. Average rate of change. And you already know how to do this. This is a review. You guys remember it's delta? The change. In Algebra 1, what was the formula? Algebra 1. Oh, here we go. Average rate of change, aka is known as what? Slope. Yeah. So in Algebra 1, what was the formula? y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. Now, because I'm giving you f of x, it can be seen as f of b minus f of what? A all over, f of a, okay, there you go, all over b minus a. Okay. And the slope formula is already on the wall for you. You don't even have to memorize it, see? If you were in my Algebra 1 class, you don't have to memorize the slope formula. Anybody know where the slope formula is in my classroom? Yeah, it's over there, see? So look, average rate of change on the wall. Okay. Now the average rate of change is also known as, aka, slope of, oh, thank you, secant line. The slope of the secant line. Uh-huh. Oh, guys, it can also be known as y1 minus y2 all over what? Why are these the same? Yeah, it doesn't matter. If you choose to write y1 first, then it has to be divisible by x1 first, vice versa. If you choose to write y2 first, it just has to be divisible by x2. Yeah. All right, so what do I mean by this? Let me give you an a value and a b value. Let's call this guy over here a. Let's call this guy over b. So that is my, sorry. So would you agree that's a y value for a? Yes or no? No, f of a. And then the y. Then the y value for b is just called f of b. Oh. Then the line that crosses these 2 points. Guess what the line's called? I know. Good job. Okay. So that line right there is called the secant line. And the slope is just the average rate of change. Okay. So what does it really mean by the average rate of change? What all this is saying is that obviously a curve does not have any, the curve will have different slope, right? Different rate of change at each location. Would you guys agree? But if I pick 2 points on the curve, okay, then the average slope, by the way, when we use the average, what does that even mean? When we use the word average, what does it mean? Average age of the kids in this classroom will probably be 15. Average income in Huntington Beach, who knows? Let's say $50,000. I don't know, I'm taking that. Average education of your parents, who knows? Master degrees. Okay. Anytime you hear the people using the word average, what are you thinking about? All the time. I don't know. Divide it. Right, math, when you add it up, divide. But like, so average means like, hey, you know what? What's the norm, right? Like, sort of the norm. Does that make sense? Yeah. So if I were to calculate, I can't. Every single point is going to have a different rate of change. So, but I pick 2 points, then Okay, then the change of that would be the slope. Okay. Later, we're going to do the tangent, which is different from secant. Okay, let's do the math. Find the average rate of change of f of x equals square root of 4x plus 1. First, over the interval from 0 to 2. So f of x, is that a line? Is that a line? F of x equals square root? No. Okay, a line you will be able to find a slope. Would you guys agree? Okay, it's not a line, so I can find the average slope from 0 to 2. So how do we do it? What should we find? What's the formula?
Plug in 0.
Yeah, plug in 2 and plug in 0, or vice versa. F of 2 was 4 times 2 plus 1 under the radical. What would you end up with? 4 times 2 is what? 2. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. Radical 9 is 3. What's f of 0? Negative 3? No? 1. Okay. So the formula says f of b minus f of a all over b minus a. Or, by the way, can I do f of a minus f of b all over a minus b? Yeah, it's really up to you. So can I do 3 minus 1 all over what? All over what? 2 minus 0. So final answer, what's your slope? 1. The average slope for that curve from x location of 0 to 2 is 1. Why don't you find the average slope of b for me? Leave it in exact form and decimal form. Round to 3 decimal places, okay? So find f of 12, find f of 10, and then compute the slope for me. Exact form and decimal answer to 3 decimal places. Just in case you don't have a quiz, a calculator on this part of the test. Then you know how to find the side. Alex, did you come with f of 12 in exact form?
7.
7, good. Mr. Ross, did you come up with f of 10 in exact form?
6, 4.
No, give me exact form. Just
Radical 41.
good. Okay. So it says f of b minus f of a all over b minus a. So we can do 7 minus radical 41 all over. So exact form would be 7 minus, 10 over here. Thank you. Exact form would be 7 minus square root of 41 over 2. Yes or no? Someone punch it in. Let me know approximation to 3 decimal places. Good. Okay, so exact form and calculator form. Which one's steeper? From 0 to 2 or 10 to 12?
0, 2.
You're right. From 0 to 2, this curve has a steeper slope than 10 to 12. Okay, tangent to a curve at a point P and only one point. This is okay, last definition, and we'll call it a day after this. I'm going to spell everything out. Tangent to a curve at point P. Can you see that this is only at one point? Only one point is provided. Only one point it's given. Anybody know what the line is called if it only intersects a curve at one point? It is called a tangent line. Okay? So I'm going to sort everything out, and then we're going to apply this tomorrow. Here we go. We will start. I'm going to try to write slow. With what we know how to calculate, which is finding the average rate of change. By the way, average rate of change, aka, what is it called? Slope of what? Slope of secant line, right? Because that would be different from slope of tangent. Okay. So we will start with what you already know how to find, the slope of a secant line through point P. But that's only 1 point. To find the slope of a secant line, how many points would you need? 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick and a point nearby. Okay? Because you are only given 1 point. You can't find a slope of 1 point. So we're going to know, what we're going to do is we're going to find the slope at point P that's given to you and somewhere closer. Okay? Let's call it X or H. Your books uses X and H at different times. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So a point near P is either called H or X. Okay, that'll be okay so far? We're going to randomly pick a point as close as we can. Okay. Next, we find the limit of the slope of the secant line. Would you agree we have now 2 points? One's given and one we pick. Okay. Of the secant line as X approaches P. What does that mean? But X approaches P. Remember, X was the point nearby. So what do I mean by X approaches P? Is it getting closer to the given point or further away? Yeah, I'm inching closer to the one given point as the limits, okay? We define the slope of the curve at point P to be this number. Okay, whatever that number is. So as X gets closer and closer to P, whatever the given point P is, it's going to give you a number. Okay. So this number, the number that we found using this limit, is the slope of the tangent line at point P at point P. And this is where we are going to stop for today.